Back in the reaction of Tom Holland's next Spider-Man Multiverse movie confirmed. Let's see what the customer has to say about that and check it out.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm your host, Warren Thompson, and it looks like we know the next Marvel movie that Tom Holland is going to be appearing in. A lot of people have been wondering about Tom Holland's contract with Marvel Studios, also not to mention the fact that he has a contract with Sony as well. Sony does have the rights to Spider-Man, but of course they worked out a deal with Disney and Marvel Studios for Tom Holland's Spider-Man to appear in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And also Andrew Garfield's and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man as well, since they were in No Way Home, which took place inside of the MCU. Things are looking good for Tom Holland's new project to return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However, it looks like the next project that Tom Holland is going to be a part of is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now this right away is just insanely cool. However, it means a lot more than we actually think it does, because this is the setup. This is a start for something really big coming down the road, something even bigger than Spider-Man No Way Home. And also, it's been reported that PS4 Spider-Man is going to be in Across the Spider-Verse as well. And this also has serious implications about what the future of the Sony Spider-Verse is going to be like, and if it's anything like what they're hinting at and what we're expecting it to be like, it's gonna blow everybody's minds. Now, there's gonna be a ton of different Spider-Man variants in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, but it's looking like this isn't going to be the only time that we're going to see a bunch of different Spider-Man variants on the screen. In fact, it's looking like we could experience a live action Into the Spider-Verse film that Sony is going to slowly build up to, starting with Madam Web. Well, I guess technically Spider-Man No Way Home started it by bringing the three Spider-Men together, but that took place in the MCU, and although it will definitely affect the Sony Spider-Verse, Madam Web is going to be the film that truly kicks off the new Sony Spider-Verse. So let's first talk about Tom Holland and his contract, and then we'll talk about how this affects the overall Sony Spider-Man universe in a really great way. So I think a lot of people know, but in case you don't, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige and Sony executive producer Amy Pascal, right after Spider-Man No Way Home came out, announced to the public, to the fans, that Spider-Man is going to remain in the MCU, and they have already, in fact, begun working on Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland. Recently, we haven't heard anything official about Tom Holland signing a new contract, but we do have that guarantee from Marvel Studios and Sony. But it looks like Tom Holland is going to be a little bit more involved with Spider-Man than we thought, because according to a report from the Cosmic Circus, Tom Holland's Spider-Man from the MCU is going to be in Across the Spider-Verse. Now this is really cool, but it also opens up a lot of questions, because the report specifically says that it will indeed be the MCU Spider-Man. So it's not Tom Holland playing a variant, but the actual Spider-Man from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the same Spider-Man that went through all of the events of No Way Home, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, Captain America Civil War, and of course the Homecoming trilogy. So what does this mean for the future of not only the Spider-Verse, but the Marvel Cinematic Universe as well? Because if we truly get Tom Holland's MCU Spider-Man in Across the Spider-Verse, that means whatever events take place and happen will affect him in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So that begs the question, are these universes kind of starting to bleed into each other? Now, they already kind of had before in the past. We have Michael Keaton's Vulture, who went from the MCU to the Sony universe. Not to mention they teased us with Tom Hardy's Venom, but that was very much a tease, and is looking like that actually won't happen, as they took him back and put him back in the Sony universe. But the point being is the universes kind of already bleed into each other a little bit. But now we have another Spider-Verse multiverse movie, and the MCU Spider-Man is going to be in it. We also have Avengers Secret Wars coming up, where a bunch of different universes are going to collide due to some universes going through incursion, and we know we're going to see a bunch of different variants of a lot of different characters. So the question is, will Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse actually affect some slight events in the MCU, since our MCU Spider-Man, Tom Holland, is going to be in that film? He'll get taken from the MCU, brought into the Sony universe, which is the Spider-Verse right now, and theoretically and logically be put back into the MCU. So he's going to go through a big event, one that his character probably can't ignore. So yes, the events will probably bleed into the MCU, even if just a little bit, and even if only specifically for Tom Holland's Spider-Man. But the cool thing about this is that it really opens up something much bigger. TheCosmicCircus.com also reports that PS4 Spider-Man is going to be in Across Across the Spider-Verse, but this isn't actually the first time that PS4 Spider-Man has left his universe to appear in another Marvel Spider-Man universe. In the massive comic event Spider-Geddon, where a ton of different Spider-Man variants all go to one universe, PS4 Spider-Man was taken from the video game and brought into the Marvel Comics world. And yes, it was the exact same PS4 Spider-Man. So it's going to be the same for Across the Spider-Verse. But even more importantly, this tells us that Sony is really not afraid to mix universes. Regarding Spider-Man, that is. And recent reports state that Sony is actually working up to a Spider-Geddon movie. Now, I can't express how cool this would actually be to see on screen, and if you've been following the channel for a little bit, you know that this idea is massive and insanely cool. It's Spider-Man No Way Home on steroids. It's literally Spider-Man No Way Home times 10. In the story in the comics, there were over 15 different Spider-Man variants in one universe together at the same time. So if you loved Into the Spider-Verse but wanted a live-action version of it, well, it's looking like Sony is developing that right now. And they're actually building their entire Spider-Verse to build up to this movie. Now, as far as Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is concerned, there are some other characters that have been reported to be in the film, which means they could also cross into the live-action Spider-Geddon movie that hopefully Sony is indeed making. These new variants include Jessica Drew's Spider-Woman, SpiderMan, Scarlet Spider, Spider-Punk, Cyborg Spider-Woman, and Spider-Man India. And of course, we can expect the entire gang from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse to appear again. Of course, the main character, Miles Morales, Spider-Gwen, Peter Parker, of course, Spider-Noir, and all of the rest of the gang. And at one point in time, there was even a rumor, nothing confirmed, but a rumor that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man could appear in the film as well. Now, based off of everything that we've heard from insiders after Spider-Man No Way Home, it does seem like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire aren't done with their Spider-Man roles yet, but in fact would love to return to continue to play that character in the Sony universe. And it's looking like there's going to be plenty of opportunities for that to happen. Right now, there are some big reports stating that Madame Web is going to explore other universes within the Spider-Verse, and there's a rumor going around that Topher Grace's Venom from Spider-Man 3 is going to appear in Madame Web, as well as Dane DeHaan's Harry Osborn from The Amazing Spider-Man. Both of these characters exist in the universes that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield come from. So if they are revisiting their universes, there's a big chance that we're going to see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield pop up again at some point in time in the Sony Spider-Verse. But it is really cool that Tom Holland is going to appear in Across the Spider-Verse. It'll be cool to see him/hear him, but it's also a really good sign that Sony and Marvel Studios/Disney are indeed really working well together right now. Which means Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the MCU has a pretty bright future. In fact, the next video that I'll be posting later on is about Spider-Man 4 and the future of Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so stay tuned for that. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. And in the meantime, let me know what you think about Tom Holland's Spider-Man appearing in Across the Spider-Verse along with the PS4 Spider-Man, which is a really cool thing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.
Please subscribe, like this video, and see you guys. Bye.